Hey everybody, I'm actually catching lunch right now real fast. I just got done training over at Syndicate. Pro class every day at 11:30 is there, so everybody's in town, come by. And if you have any questions, go ahead and jump on and ask them. Obviously, if you hit the stars and whatnot, that'll make it a little bit easier for me to see and get through them if there's too many. Just speaking about the fight last weekend, I was a little disappointed with the scoring. I thought it was actually 4-2 as far as rounds go. In fact, the way boxing goes, I thought maybe I even might have stole one of them, make it 3-3. The one judge agreed with me. He had it 56, 58. But then the other ones, when I saw the 60-54, 60-54, I realized the only way I was winning is if I won by a knockout. So a couple questions that were brought up. People were asking if I think they should have came in lighter. Not really, because if I specialized for boxing, then yeah, being lighter is an advantage. But because I'm still an MMA fighter, I want to use boxing as a tool to make me a better MMA fighter, just like I use submission grappling matches to make me better at MMA, and not the other way around. And so, yeah, when it gets to the point where I retire from MMA, maybe I'll go ahead and look about specializing, but until then, not so much. Hey, Clement, thank you so much, man. If you have a question, man, throw it at me. Why the change to boxing? I just use it as a tool. I'm not changing over. I'm still doing MMA fights, but I just want to challenge myself. A lot of people keep thinking that that all I'm capable of doing is submissions. I wanted to show that I'm a well-rounded MMA fighter, and so going out there and showing that MMA fighters can also box was pretty much my objective. And as far as what my next one is, trying to get on a BKFC fight because I like to do bare knuckle fighting. Possibly, I'm talking to Malky, my manager, about fighting in June. It'll be an MMA fight, so that would be probably what's next. So just seeing if that's what's coming up. So right now in the gym when I'm training, I train everything. So one of my training partners, Josh, is coming up on a bare knuckle fight. He's signed with, so I'll make sure that I help him with that. So sparring a lot that still. Will I still be, will I still be using going under the Triller? I think Triller did a great promotion. Had a lot of people watching. I think it was a very complex scene that they were pulling off with all the, music and whatnot, and a lot of different personalities. I think that the commentary was kind of garbage, but that's because they brought in guys that were supposed to balance out the celebrities with real fight knowledge. And that's what De La Hoya was supposed to be, and obviously he did drop the ball on that one. So hopefully next time, that'll be what it is. They'll fix that. Maybe hell, if I'm not on the card, I'll commentate and bring that aspect to it so they understand what's actually going on. I think I answered your question well, right, Matthew? As far as why boxing, just wanted to go out there and push myself and prove myself better. Will I be fighting again under the Triller promotion? No. Maybe. It just depends on what they come up with. If they offer me another fight, absolutely. Working with Peter Kahn and Melissa Hendricks specifically was a great experience, and I look forward to that. Dan Navarrete, can I knock out Jake Paul for? Yeah, they're not going to pick me as somebody they want to fight. Even Logan Paul picking Mayweather, it makes sense. He has 50 pounds on him. I mean, he's going to get schooled in boxing and embarrassed, but he might not get completely knocked out cold. I'm a very large heavyweight, and I think going out there for even getting paid a couple $1 million, it's not fun if you can't, if you have to eat through a straw for the next 8 weeks. Yeah, no, it's funny. I thought about that. Bella, I was like, hey, there was a couple people on the card that, yeah, definitely. Bella would have probably destroyed all but about 3 of the fighters on the card. Obviously the 2 real fighters that were on there, and then, well, obviously being Cunningham. But then, yeah, I think that she definitely could beat Jake Paul in a fight. Yeah, Ben didn't look super good. He got caught. I don't think it was an atrocious stoppage. You know what I mean? But he did stumble a little bit when he got up. I do think that they should have let it go a little bit. I think he's had 20 pro fights. That he should have allowed them to. They should have allowed him to push a little bit and extend it. He wasn't a novice. Hell, they let Raycon get up off the mat and keep fighting. So that was his first ever pro fight. Probably his only first fight in his life. So. Am I not interested in having easier fights to pad my record? Not necessarily. You can always, I don't know, I like to challenge myself and push myself, so that's what I look for. Sean, let's see. Frank, you're one of my favorite fighters. Can't wait to see you back at BFKC. Would you like to see rep MMA and boxing? Who would I like to see rep MMA and boxing? You know what I think would still make a phenomenal representation in MMA is Vitor Belfort. I think that if he went over into boxing, I think he would do extremely well. Richard Drummond, thanks for the question. See, what's the hardest part of boxing opposed to MMA? Well, in boxing, you just have less weapons. And for my mind, because of kicks, knees, elbows, submissions, takedowns, I'm hardwired for the last, several decades to do all those things. So that was probably the hardest part about the boxing, is not throwing something up out there that would have got me disqualified. Because that was one thing that kind of made me nervous was if I would have got disqualified by a foul, step behind, do a takedown on accident, throw a knee and elbow. And, if Cunningham would have been injured and they stopped the fight, the Athletic Commission in Georgia, you don't have to get your purse. They keep the whole thing. So that would have been a pretty awful walk back up to the room to go see the wife, tell her that I did everything for free. Preferred submission from the guard. Omoplata, to be honest. I think it's one of the best ones. I think it gets you out of position from getting punched. It leads into sweeps very well. And the way I do it usually leads to a submission a lot more often than not now. And so I think it's one of the better ones to go for. Hey, Russell from Sunny goes, Frank, would you possibly want to be a guest on my podcast? Sure, if you reach out to me on my stuff, send me information. We'll see about making it work. All right, Chris, man, good to see you again. Who's LB? Usman had a great fight. Obviously, Masvidal was part of the first round management. I was pulling for him to be able to pull off the win. I actually thought he was actually even winning the first round. Even getting taken down, he threw some vicious elbows from the bottom. Just even the posture, it looked like Usman was a little more uncomfortable, where Masvidal looked like he was in his element. He was enjoying the fight. And had it continued on, like, he was looking really, really good. But then obviously that straight right hand from Usman changed all that completely. So, Usman looked, he did a great job. Hey, Giovanni, thank you so much, man. Could I ever fight Mike Tyson? Jeff Stevens. If we did the boxing match, I'd love to jump in there and go in there with him and try it out. Obviously, Mike is extremely powerful, and that's his element. And I don't know. I'll see if I can convince him if he wants to do MMA. We'll go back and forth. I'll do one in boxing. Might not be the healthiest thing for me, but then if he comes over and does one in MMA, I'll even the score. Andrew, when do I think my daughter will be competing in the UFC? She's already been offered now. I'm actually the one putting the brakes on and slowing things down. She's 17, and right now she's wrestling. The World Team Trials are here in May. She just won Nationals And so, look, wrestling in college is only going to be so long, an opportunity to do so. Fighting, I'm 41, getting ready to turn 42, and I'm still fighting. I don't think I can go wrestle in college. So, I just want to still to be a kid, enjoy life, and enjoy the things about a college experience. What's my favorite fight I've ever been in? The fight I probably stick to the most that I always tell people about is my second time with Nogueira. And that's because I was losing the fight. I got caught with a good shot, got hurt. The fight was close to being stopped, and I was able to recover from being inside the guillotine and sweep and get on top in dominant position. And I won through a pretty devastating submission. So I use that to tell my children it's kind of like an allegory for life. I didn't start out doing too hot, but it's how you finish. Is there any fights you regret taking? No, you know what? I wish when I was younger I was better with my finances. I've definitely straightened that up now. The wife and I, being better examples to our kids. But I definitely took fights when I was injured, and I shouldn't have. And if I had been my own manager, I would have definitely pulled us out of it. But when you live fight to fight, fighters notoriously blow our money and buy things and spend money, and then when have to fight, and it's like, well, it's time to fight, and the bills have to get paid. Well, guys, hey, thanks for jumping on with me for a few minutes. A real quick one. I actually have a 2 o'clock with the kids. If you guys like this, there's good response and good feedback, I'll try to make it once a week where I jump on and answer a few questions. Obviously, if it's something that the fans want, I'm all for jumping on, helping you guys out. All right. Thank you, guys.